You're on mute. What a start.
Konnichiwa. 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 How is everyone? How is everyone on this auspicious day? Endo Day. I've got my Oreo. Listen, guys, I'm allowed to eat, yeah? Because I'm a man of many manners. But one thing I won't do is stop myself from eating. Cookies, Oreos, sandwich. Gina, have you ever had this?
No, I've never had it.
It's a good thing. And that's why I probably you got that little chin and you stay skinny. Sarib Sub, have you ever had an Oreo sandwich?
First of all, you shouldn't be calling it Oreo. You should be calling it an Endō sandwich because we're here to talk about the samurai himself. Let's get in stuck in, boys.
You know, seeing as though you've got so much confidence, can you confirm the transfer in your best Gary Neville impression, please? Can you do that for us? Confirm the signing of Wataru Endo signing for Liverpool in your best Gary Neville. You sure you don't want your hairbrush as your microphone?
No, I don't need it. I got this. I got a 5-stick remote.
Go on, let's go.
Gary, they want you to talk about another transfer. He's born in red look. Right, I have to say, Wataru Endo, I've not heard of him much so in the Bundesliga, but I look at him and so many people I've spoke to, the pundits that in Germany, Sky Germany especially, we work closely with them. I've spoke to a lot of former players. I know Leroy Sané, Owen Hargreaves as well. He's played for Bayern Munich, my teammate. He spoke so highly about Endo. They play a very similar position as well in midfield. He looks like a real buy for Liverpool. 16-odd million they paid for him. Liverpool missed out on Caicedo and Lavin, but to bring somebody of that ilk and quality in, 30 years old, experienced player, let's be clear. Liverpool have lost the leaders in that summer, Henderson and Milner. And to bring a player like Wataru Endo could have a real impact on Jurgen Klopp's dressing room. He likes players like that Klopp, players that can come in and do a job, and he looks like a player that can really do well for Liverpool. And they pay virtually nothing for him, so it's a no-brainer for me. He looks like a really good player. Let's just see where he goes from there for Liverpool. But Liverpool need to bring a defensive midfield player in, but they really got a solid one in Wataru Endo, I have to say.
Wow. Wow. Tarian, mate. Tarian.
That is respect, man.
Everyone in the comment, please just type in Tarian. Tariya. Tarian. That was absolutely brilliant. Listen, guys, Fridays is usually an impromptu show. We'll talk about various stuff about what's going on in the world. Obviously, we're going to talk about Liverpool, but anyone that wants to bring up a topic in the comment section, please do so. Food, whatever. Today is just pure tamasha. We have a word that we say, tamasha. Tamasha means just a naughty show. You know, look, everyone's saying Tarian. Everyone is saying Tarian. Look, Anfield Road End, Tarian, Jimmy Khan. No relation to James Khan is saying Tarian. Everyone. I'll let you handle the comments today. G,
go on, let me off. Go on, beat the press, my man. Beat the press. I respect you to beat the press.
That was impressive, and he's got. I think you've got a Pep Guardiola one coming out as well soon, Sarib. So, guys, the more you tune into Born in Red, the more impressions that Sarib will give us. But that was brilliant. But listen, Gene, excuse my manners while I finish eating. So, yeah, sorry about that, guys. Endo signs. I'm not sure if he's eligible to be, if he got his international clearance or if anything else was holding up his paperwork, but I believe he will. I believe he may be involved tomorrow. I'm not too sure. Signings done, Gina, but still a lot more to do. A lot of smoke around Doucouré. We're hearing tonight reports that Nottingham Forest have submitted an offer to Benfica over Florentino Luis. So another one that could get away. Yusuf Fofana was linked with Nottingham Forest as well. So seems as if a lot more players now are going to slip through our hands. But your first impressions of Endo, his grasp of English, which is good, and Klopp seemed very, very positive as well.
Yeah, really, really positive from what I saw. And he looked like he was really happy to finally get one over the line, sort of thing. Especially with the last couple that finally got away. Look, I've mentioned the show yesterday. I'm happy with the signing, and Klopp seemed happy with the signing too. And he looked like, the way he spoke to him and stuff. And, and you mentioned his English was perfect. And look, this lad will come in and hopefully hit the ground running more or less straight away. He's played in the Bundesliga. It's a sort of league that's more or less is decent in terms of quality and stuff. And in terms of how quick paced it is in terms. So I'm looking forward to him. I'm actually quite excited by him. And I genuinely believe that he'll do really well for Liverpool. And looking at the players that hopefully, look, we do want a few more, and let's basically a few more to come in. There was a lot of noise in regards to Gravenberch today. So hopefully, and I know there's fans are pretty split on Gravenberch, Avi, and I think obviously we'll touch on it as well today. But all in all, I'm very, very happy to get one over the line. A player that we do need. Is he at the quality that we probably require? Is a question that we're gonna have to wait and see. But all in all, I'm happy with it, man.
Sarib, your thoughts on Endo? I believe we've got Asim back. He had a prior engagement today. He had some family around. I'm gonna be nice to him. He had some lamb chops and some roast chicken and stuff cooking at home. But yeah, welcome to the show, Asim. I'm hosting tonight, so you're gonna have a little bit of a break tonight. How are you feeling?
I'm all right, man. Thank you for thanks for the invite, Avi. Thanks for the invite. I was driving home. I saw the StreamYard, so thank you very much. But yeah, I had some guests over from Barcelona, believe it or not. Some
Nice.
family visiting from Barcelona. So
Any rumors? Any rumors coming from Barcelona? Anything emanating from there? Did anyone give you any clue? Of any player interest? Any interest? Pedri, Gavi, anything?
I'd like to spice things up, but they're not really football people. I tried to talk about footballers like so many times, but they weren't interested.
Barcelona. I'm sure they were Madrid fans.
There was one Madrid fan there today. He was a young'un. He's only a kid, but I think he's seen Mbappe, the rumors, Bellingham go over, and he thought, you know what, let's get out of here. Messi's gone over to America. There's no Messi anymore in Barcelona. So, yeah, you know how these kids are. These guys, glory supporters these days, they like to support the team that wins, but it is what it is, I guess.
Right, yeah, man. When I say, how are you, Asim, you give us this whole eulogy again about how your evening went. We know you were with family, just should have kept it short and sweet. But listen, I'm gonna quickly move on. I'm gonna quickly move on swiftly to Sarib. Quickly move on to Sarib, and I'll come to you. You have a little sip of your water and take a breather, Asim, because you're gonna need it. Sarib, Endo Science, his English was pretty good. Klopp seemed very happy. I want you to tell me about, I haven't seen it, but I'm sure you've seen it. Klopp's sort of his sort of excitement when he saw Endo. He's very excited to see him, and he told him straight away, we need a player like you to come in because we've got the creativeness already in McAllister and Sobosa. But the body language was very positive. Tell me some more though.
No, look. We all know we needed a DM, and even Klopp knew that. And clearly, if he saw a DM coming in, he's obviously going to be out of his seat because we've got no one to play there. And obviously, Jurgen Klopp is from the Bundesliga. He probably watches a lot of that league, and he probably looks at him more than we have looked at him, which is why he's the calmest man in the Merseyside. But no. Like, we needed a DM. We've got a DM in. I can't sit here and basically shit on Liverpool because we needed a DM. It might not be of the quality we expected, but it's a start, definitely. And hopefully there's a lot more to come. Endo looks like a good character. He looks very happy to be here. He looks very grateful to be here. His mentality as well. He said, we're in the Europa League. We're here to win it. I already love him. I love him. He's a winner. He wants to win, and he wants to win for my football club. What more can you want from a player?
Yeah, this is a change. You said we were in trouble last night.
Oh, mate, I'm telling you, it's the dopamine. The dopamine. I'm telling you, I told you. What did I say last night? The dopamine rush of the signing video of Endo got me again. It's got me by the galah. It's not my sore throat. It got me by the galah. I'm telling you, when I see him rock up at Anfield, when we don't have a DM, it's gonna be. He can drop an absolute stinker. I don't care. We've got a DM.
Well, if he doesn't provide the talla, there'll be trouble.
Asim, 72 hours ago, you hit a nice point there. 72 hours ago, 48 hours ago, 72 hours ago, we were kind of like questioning ourselves about this Endo. Who the hell is he? There was a bit of a negativity. I think on a show, we could say we were one of maybe a few channels that were still trying to be upbeat, a bit positive, saying that look, I think this is the signs of us just getting a body and a utility player. Good words coming out of Stuttgart, good words coming out from German journalists, and this hopefully paves the way of getting someone big in. But fast forward 72 hours, we're on here on a Friday night. Asim, it's been very positive, very receptive, the news about Wataru Endo coming in. Your thoughts and how the mood changed as soon as you see a player in Kirby unveiled, putting on that red shirt. It just seems a little bit of shanti, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Look, Avi, we have to provide the context, how he signed. If there was maybe a week leading up to his signing where we were sort of had a bit of time to research this guy, go on the YouTube, a few compilations of World Cup, his performances against Croatia, Germany, and then we would sort of build the sort of excitement a bit. But it's just the way it happened, and I feel sorry for the kid. I keep calling him a kid because we've been recently linked with 21 and 22-year-olds. But this guy's
Well, when you compare the age to Chin, he definitely is a kid. He definitely is a kid compared to Chin now. But go on, carry on.
Is he a rare transport by any chance?
I'm ready today. I'm ready.
We're not here for low blows. We're not here for low blows.
No, what I'm saying is, look, I feel sorry for the guy a bit, because I was a bit sort of spectacle as well, saying, who the hell is this guy? And so was everybody else, let's be honest. But the more you see him, the more you see Klopp speak about him. And Klopp actually turned to the camera today saying, look, I'm sure Klopp hasn't got any burners, but he does get the mood. I'm sure his sort of colleagues do tell him what the sort of mood is on, social media amongst the Liverpool fan base, explaining and telling him about the signings as well, and just generally the mood in the Liverpool fan base. And he turned to the camera and said, look, just watch him. I'm paraphrasing here. And I think that was very, very sort of optimistic, sort of positive as well, that this guy is a manager. He believes in him. And he said he's always been on his wish list. He may be a 30-year-old. He may be not the household name that we expected, the Caicedos, the Lavias, all these guys, because we've been chasing them for the last 2-3 weeks. But now that he's here, now that we've seen a bit of him, I can see Liverpool why they bought him. He's clearly a technically gifted footballer, a guy who will wear his heart on his sleeve and bust a gut for his teammates. And I keep mentioning that video that when Fabinho left and all those players mentioning that this guy used to do the dirty work. And I think this guy is the disciplined anchorman in midfield who will do those little things for his teammates. And those types of players are really, really appreciated, not just in the team, not just in the squad, but amongst the coaching staff. And good luck to him. And I think I've got positive vibes about this guy, that he's got the number 3 shirt. He's been wearing this, in his past sort of, in his career, and he's taken the responsibility to take over Fabinho's shirt. And if you've got the confidence to do that, then, I wish you every single ounce of luck going forward.
Can I say something, Asim?
As long as it's nice.
That was perfectly put, actually. That was a great little statement. Great little comment. Great comments there about Endo. That was really good. Honestly, Asim, when I want to break his ball sacks, I will. But that was greatly put. Gene, people were saying he's a panic signing. Here we go again. Panic FC, last minute FC, emergency FC. This is totally different to the Arthur loan signing from last season, isn't it? There does seem to be, there was a bit of planning that we were looking for a utility player, someone to come in and do that job that Ox couldn't unfortunately do last season, or a Milner because of his hamstring issues last season, like a Naby. This guy, we're bringing him in to play a big role this season.
Yeah, but you mentioned if it's not a panic signing, if it was a panic signing, I mean, I'm sure in this interview, you could sort of tell that, I'm sure, didn't he say something like, he didn't know until last week sort of thing that Liverpool were interested in him. So I'm sure I read something in regards to him only finding out last week that Liverpool were interested in signing him. So it's not like, we were definitely after him, let's say months ago. That's the simple truth. But where we were at and, being able to bring in somebody like him who we know, it was Arthur, Avi. We all knew that, he's injury sort of prone. He actually came to the club injured. And so that already set us back in that sort of position. But with this guy, we know he's played. I think he's missed 3 games out of 102 or something stupid like that. So we know he's fully fit. He never gets injured, and he will play. He's a player that we 100% need in this side. Whether he's going to start or whether he's going to think, obviously as soon as he come in, most 99% of the time he's going to start for this football because we don't have a number 6 that can play the way he plays. So look, I for one, in terms of it being a panic, not a panic buy, but let's say a late signing. I don't want to say it's a panic buy we put last minute, but because with Arthur, look, with all due respect, like I mentioned yesterday, me and you were pretty happy with the signing. We both were because we thought he played done well at Barcelona. He wasn't that great at Juve. Maybe this is his time to sort of kick on. But with this guy, you sort of know, 30 years old, not injury prone, is exactly what we need in the midfield, and he's going to come into a side, and I think he's got all the attributes to play that role. And Asim mentioned, what he brings in terms of Fabinho and stuff. I'm not going to turn around and say he's vintage Fabinho, because Fabinho was arguably the best in the world in that position. But even if he gives us 70-80% of that, that's more than enough for this Liverpool side, because now he's actually got the players around him that, in terms of hard workers, Dominic will work hard, McAllister will work hard, and we are we'll have a team that is sort of set to be able to play that, let's say, the inverted role with Trent. I'm looking forward to watching this kid play. But make no mistake, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm happy in terms of, if you said to me right now that he's the sixth for the whole season. No, but I'm really happy with the signing.
Asim, Arj says, one of the regulars and subscribers, and guys, by the way, we're coming towards 11:30 at night, towards midnight, and there's 305, 310 of you guys here. Lovely reception. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. We're growing ever so quickly, and without your support, we're just, we're nothing. So with your support, we're everything. So please give us a like and a follow, and be blessed, and hopefully good luck for tomorrow for the Bournemouth game. But Arj says something here, Asim. I think the plan was to get him with someone else. Klopp is happy, so am I. Just hope it works out. And I think that's the whole gist of it between us. But I think we're all in agreement with that comment from Arj. One thing that, Asim, before we move on, explain to me about this gum shield. Why the gum shield, you reckon?
Look, I don't care if he's going to go there and think he's doing 12 rounds every single week, then I don't care what he wears. If it's a gum shield, if it's a headband, if it's a wristband, a char, he can wear a cricket box if he likes. But he can wear that. He can walk onto the.
They probably do. Footballers probably wear cricket boxes, right, to cover the old groin area.
No.
Sorry?
No. They just rub them if they get hit.
If they get hit in the tatty, you reckon they just take it like without a
This guy.
I'm saying, like, do they take it up the
yeah, I think drunk.
I think footballers wear. I think footballers wear boxes. Come on.
I think drunk Vigo, is that Vigo or Vigo? I'll say Vigo. I'm sorry.
He's your biggest fan, by the way. Drunk Vigo. He's a big fan of you, Asim.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. That's why I put him up. He says gum shield means
you're one and only fan, by the way, as well.
Mine are organic, Avi.
Oh, that's gonna get clipped. He said OnlyFans. That's gonna get clipped.
But look, I don't care what he wears, man. Everyone's different. If that's his personal style, it must be a reason why he wears it. And as long as I'm gonna judge the lad in terms of performances, and it makes a little headline, it makes opposing fans sort of troll, for the, it's just a bit of banter, isn't it? But I don't give a crap what he wears, Avi, as long as he performs on a weekly basis. And you know what? This is a player, he might not be the household name, like I said earlier. He might not be even the most talented player, but he makes up for it in sort of proper balls, if you like. We were just mentioning cricket boxes, but he's a player that sort of just gives off the vibes that this guy, he will try every single thing for his teammates and for the club and the fans every single week. And if you get honest players, every great team needs honest players. With all due respect, Jordan Henderson, he didn't have the sort of natural ability like everyone else. But we all needed him. We always needed a leader to do the doggy work, if you like. But I now know that this guy will do that. And Jurgen Klopp, when he met him and embraced him in the changing rooms, and he said, we have a really, really good team, but a really offensive one. And, when he comes in now, he will provide that protection for every single one. And I'm just looking forward to seeing him play now.
Yeah, sure. No, of course, greatly put. Ant Dicko saying, hi, lads, could you mention hashtag show respect on 26 tomorrow? Anyone going? Young lad, I believe his name is Michael Jones. Just reading this, Michael Jones, who lost his life at Bramley Moor, lost his life working on the Bramley Moor horrific accident that he had. I believe he was an Everton fan, and Sean Dyche and club ambassadors Graham Stewart and Ian Snowden visited the site today, the Bramley Moor dock, today to lay flowers in memory of Michael Jones. So I'm sure Liverpool fans, as the classy bunch that they are, they will do something significant tomorrow. So yeah, sorry for their loss, and thoughts and prayers with Michael Jones's family. Moving swiftly on, Gene, we've got a small matter of a game tomorrow. It's been transfers, inundated with transfers, wake up calls from Asim at 3-4 a.m. to give him a bit of shanti about Caicedo and whatnot. But Bournemouth tomorrow, we'll quickly touch upon it and then we'll go back to the transfers. 3 p.m. kickoff. I know you and Asim are going to it. Got to get off get a win out of the way, don't we? First home game, the crowd will be pumped. It won't be full capacity yet, as we know what's happened this week with the shortage workers, with the company Buckinghamshire Group, having to do a sort of kind of foreclosure. But tomorrow's lineup, give me your sort of predicted lineups and give me the way the game, shall go. Bournemouth got a good draw on the last weekend with West Ham, first game of the season. Solanke scored for them, but give me your thoughts ahead of tomorrow's game.
Look, and all in all, I'm looking forward to the game. It'll be good to be back at Anfield. I think the crowd will be up for it as well. So, with it being the first game of the season, our first home game of the season. So I can't wait to get into the actual stadium. In terms of Bournemouth and Liverpool, Avi, look, there's make no mistake, we have to win tomorrow, especially even more so with Newcastle away. They look like they're in, after going by their first game, they played really, really well. So it's a difficult game. We have to make sure that we hit the ground running more or less straight away. I don't want to be 1-0 down in a game, a home game, because that's what it felt like in so many occasions last year. So I think it's imperative that we start well. I know we started them 8-9-0 last year, but we got to come out and show our sort of how good we are. If our attacking lineup starts well and plays well, we put Bournemouth to the sword. Yes, I saw bits of Bournemouth versus West Ham 1-1. Solanke got that goal. Bournemouth actually played well. They look like they're more of a footballing side compared to the one previously. And with Brook and Solanke, they've got a decent side. I know they've got a couple missing. I know they've signed obviously Adams today, but he won't be available tomorrow. And they signed that lad that Liverpool were after, but somebody said he was injured. That's
Missile Kirkos?
That Alex, is it Alex Scott? That Liverpool Reading. Yeah, him. So he's I'm sure he's
no Bristol Rovers he came from. Bristol Rovers.
Well, okay.
Yeah. He's injured, and I think he's obviously missing. But they look like they played well, and Avi, they beat us away last season 1-0. And
Bristol City.
Yeah. So they, it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be as easy as people make out. I think we still look a bit skeptical on the break. We will have to wait and see who starts. I think McAllister will still start, and I actually agree with you. I think Elliott will start. Dom will go across. For once, me and you agree on something again. And yeah, that's who. In terms of formation, I think everybody else will play. Gakpo instead of Jota for me. I think Gakpo to start in the 9. If anything, I want Nunes to start though, but I think Jota will get the nod. Sorry, Gakpo will get the
Asim, look how Sarj has changed his tune. He wanted Nunes to start against Chelsea, but now he's conceding that Nunes won't be ahead of Gakpo now in the 9 against Bournemouth.
I'm saying what Klopp will go with.
Okay.
I said what Klopp will go with. Did you not hear me when I said I want Nunes to start? Did you not hear that? Thank you. Chup.
Sarib, your thoughts on the starting 11? What's your guys? I'm having a bit of Wi-Fi issues. It's a bit slow for me. So Asim, I may need you to take over midway through the show. So just please chime in when you can. Sarib, your thoughts on the starting 11 tomorrow? Bournemouth can play a bit of football. I thought they were a bit harsh on Gary O'Neill, who was a coach for under 18s, by the way, for a season or two. They let go of him and they brought in a new manager in. And the style of play for me, Gene, has still been a bit of the same. They try to play on the deck. David Brooks, who's back, is a very player that knits things together. Pollard had a bit of issues. He recovered from cancer. Very young player as well, 22, 23-year-old. They brought a left back, Milos Kerkez, who's very exciting. But Sarib, your thoughts on Liverpool's 11 tomorrow? Are you agreeing with Gene where McAllister, Elliott will come in, and then McAllister still continues in the 6?
Yeah, again, I'll be real. I don't think we have much of a choice. I don't think we have much room to work with at the moment with Jones' injury, Thiago not being fit, Stefan Bajcetic not being fit, and and Endō not being signed. So I think it will be McAllister, Szoboszlai off the left, and Elliott off the right, and then Diaz, Gakpo, Salah. Because I don't know, Klopp likes. I think Klopp prefers Gakpo over Nunes in that 9. We even saw it when he first joined Liverpool. Back four will stay exactly the same. Trent, Robbo, Kanate, VVD, Alisson. I don't think there'll be much room for change there unless an injury happens tomorrow. But no, I think that's the team. I absolutely agree with Cheen. We don't really have anything else. But maybe Nunes could get in for a shout. I don't think Jota will play, but yeah, I'll go with what Cheen said as well. I actually agree with you, Cheen, for once.
For once, me and you always agree, man.
Asim, there's not a lot Klopp can play with tomorrow, is he? He can't bring in Endo. He can't. Jones is injured. Badgett and Thiago are still working themselves up with fitness issues. There's not a lot that he can play around with, can he? It's going to be more or less the same. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Avi, I agree with most of the sentiments from the lads. But the thing is, Avi, it's annoying. Curtis Jones has picked up another injury, because even though it's Bournemouth, and I think Evan in the comments said there's no easy games in the Premier League, but if there was ever an easy game in the Premier League, it's probably this one. And judging by our last year's results, the 9-0, then we can maybe have an eye on the next big, massive game that we've got against Newcastle. I'm not saying we should just take these guys lightly, but the reason why I'm saying is because I think we need that midfield, believe it or not, to be sorted at St. James's Park. Because if we thought we suffered at Chelsea, I think we'll probably, if we go with that similar midfield, we'll suffer more. I have not seen a team play with the same intensity as probably, a proper peak Jurgen Klopp side, the way that this Newcastle team play. And I keep mentioning, and the reason why I mention these guys is because it's such a big game. If we don't pick up some sort of a positive result next week, and you have to prepare for these big games. Every manager will say to you, or all the players that we take it game by game, and I understand that we should. I think we should be also thinking about Newcastle maybe in the last 20-30 minutes as well. And Curtis Jones, I think if he was fit and his ankle was all right, would have played tomorrow and would have allowed Szoboszlai to play on the right hand side, and then Gakpo to play up top. I expect Bournemouth to come. I think they were in a 4-2-3-1 last Saturday. I expect that to sometimes be a 4-5-1 or even a flat back five, and putting 4 midfielders across the board and on the pitch, and then expecting Liverpool to break it down. Hence why I expect Gakpo to start ahead of Nunes, because he's got a bit more sort of creativity about him between the lines. I'm expecting a sort of positive, convincing victory, and then we go big again, because that fixture, I keep thinking about it. I know it's early on, but for Liverpool to have away to Chelsea and away to Newcastle, and just the way that this league always goes, it's imperative we don't play catch up from week 2 and week 3.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And the league is such, the top 5-6 teams is such that we can't really slip up early on. You know how they used to say, you can have a sort of slow start to the season, and then when it comes to like sort of November till May, you really give it a go. Football doesn't work as well. The Premier League doesn't work like that anymore. You've got to be on it from game one. City have set that bar so high that even like 90 points now doesn't win you the title. Even 96 won't win you the title, as we've witnessed. But Sarib, I want to come to you. Curtis Jones, a niggling injury, is expected to be back in training back on Monday. It is frustrating, isn't it, with Curtis Jones, because just when you think he's starting to show his potential, goes off to the Euros, plays very well in a 6, comes back pre-season, reports without any issues, kind of like this sort of niggling issues that he suffered from like last season. It's frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think back in the last season, he was arguably Liverpool's best player. For me, Curtis Jones has so much quality. I was one that was completely against him staying at Liverpool. I thought this guy shows a bit of quality. He holds on to the ball too long, and he will just get injured. But he proved me wrong last season. I'm glad he did it, and to show me that he has some sort of quality in the bank. But it's just these reoccurring injury problems that he's had since he's first ever come into the side. It's just he takes one step forward, and he takes 5 steps back. It's constantly with Curtis Jones all the time. We all know the guy has quality. We all know the guy can progress the ball probably better than most of our midfield players that we've got before Szoboszlai and McAllister. It's just I don't know with Jones, because he's such a quality player, but he just can't stay fit, and I don't want to navigate a situation where he plays good for 5 games, gets injured, and we're back to square one with him. I don't want that to happen, because he's a Scouser, so we've already got that kind of love for him already. He's already adhered by the fans.
So, local lad, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. So I want him to do well at this club. I really do, but he needs to try and stay fit.
Gene, I'm going to pose a question to you. You look smart, by the way, today with that shirt on. You look very smart today, and you got a different color hat as well. I know the white one must be in the wash, but it looks nice sometimes on you. A little change. Very good. I want to ask you a question. Yeah, you stay on mute. We can't hear you. Putter, bolija. Listen, anyway, I want to ask you a question, Gene.
God, by the way, those of you in the comment think I've taken a half since the day you mentioned it. By the way. And you know what I have to say? It was dirty, so I had to go in the wash. Yeah, but you know what? People have been clocked on, man. You can't get away with anything in these comments, but they remember everything.
What did they say? What did they say?
They go,
No, because the white cap. Since I grilled him with the white cap on, I think yesterday or Tuesday, he stopped wearing it now.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
getting all these thingy. He actually looks like George Shumatke actually today. Gina
Get your cigar
Shumatke.
out. Get your
Gina
cigar out.
Shumatke. Get a thumbnail. Get a image ready. Asim tomorrow. Called Gina Shumatke.
Get Andre done. Come on, you guys are both fair. Get it done.
Andre done.
Sign the deal. Sign it.
Andre done.
Gina, is it a game tomorrow against Bournemouth? And I don't want to say a game like this should be a home win, but is it a game where we could maybe try out Gomez at right back and put Trent in the 6 and put McAllister and Szoboszlai in the 3 and maybe go 4-3-3, maybe go with a rigid 4-3-3 like we have done previous seasons? Is there any chance of that?
Look, we can play because it's Bournemouth, have we? But I can't see that happening. I think we will go with what's tried and tested, especially in the first game. We have to, because if that's the formation we're going to sort of play, why would you change it for one game? If Trent is going to be play the inverted role all season, isn't this a game to actually play it and see how well he does? Again, because I can't see us going with Gomez at right back tomorrow, no chance. Not against Bournemouth. Maybe against a difficult side. And you know what? I actually called it for the Chelsea game. I thought maybe Gomez will play that. And I wanted that. I'm not going to lie. I actually wanted Gomez to start at right back in that game. But you can't change it for Bournemouth, man. Bournemouth, you've got to go. Hopefully we're going to be on the front foot. And I'm confident that we will win the game. It's not going to be easy. I know people, we won the game 9-0 last season. But the games at the start of the season, they're not the easy games. And they got a decent first result, 1-1. And they actually deserve to win that game, Bournemouth, if you look at the chances that they missed. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I don't want to see any tactical change like you've mentioned. I want to go with this inverted role that we've been playing and stick with it. Not this changing of formations and personnel. And we've already got McAllister playing in one, moved him out of position. Let's not, move another one and try and change. I know Trent played in that 6 in pre-season, but then you're moving Gomez at right back. You're taking 2 players out of their positions. Yes, McAllister will go in his favoured position, but nah, not for me personally.
Asim, you don't want to see us experiment maybe tomorrow? See if Trent can do this 6. I know Pep Linders said that. I think he came out with a statement today saying that he was the one who pushed for Trent to be inverted more. Your thoughts on that comment? Because I know you love talking about the technical side of the game. It's the only sort of facet in your game that you do talk a bit of sense on. But yeah, let's just talk about the Pep Linders' comment on that. And can we experiment tomorrow?
Yes, I've touched on the last couple of days, Avi, that Liverpool, any team that they put out tomorrow, or any system or any setup that they put out tomorrow should be good enough for Bournemouth. But with respect, I'm sure they've been preparing the right way, in the professional way for Bournemouth tomorrow, and they should get the result, whatever team they put out. In terms of trying something out, maybe later on, after 60, 70 minutes when the game's put to bed, hopefully in theory, and then we can try something. Maybe if there's not early goal conceded, then there's alarm bells ringing from the minute go. But in terms of trying something out, I would have liked Endō to be available tomorrow, because I thought it might have been a decent game for him to get some games if he was available and registered. And then if you guys want to experiment, maybe we can see him at left back and inverting from there. And then if you want to play Trent in the lone 6, and then you've got Endō and Trent, on the ball, you could have seen that. If you want to see Trent, playing in a double pivot, and then Gomez playing in the conventional right back, then my only worry is Salah's, sort of input from that right hand. He needs to probably hold width really a lot, because Gomez is more conventional. He'll give you solidity from that right hand side, but he's not going to give you anything going forward. You can probably get away with, I stress, you can get away with anything, but if we're going to be really competing at the highest level, then I think we have to be going for this inverted role, because most teams are going to be doing. United are trying it with Martinez and Casemiro. Arsenal, obviously, from both sides, with Zinchenko and Ben White at times. Man City do it from elsewhere, right back, left back, centre back. Rodri dropping into a third centre back. I can go on and on. So if you want to really compete and really get the advantage in the middle areas on the big day, I think you have to stick with this inverted business because it is the fashionable thing to do at the moment to gain the advantage and the numerical advantage and create central overloads. And if we're trying too much against Bournemouth, then I just think will be a lack of preparation going against the big teams. So stick what you know, stick what you've been doing for the last 8-9 games, and then make sure it's perfect, because this is what we need to do now. Make sure the system is fine-tuned, and let's just climb our way up that table week in, week out.
100%, 100%. And I'm coming back to you, Asim, as well, because again, I feel that you'll be able to drop a nice little, you'll be able to drop some nice comments into this as well. You're saying that United are trying it, City have, they've tried it and they've been successful with it. Chelsea may try it. We're trying to try it. Is that why it's important that we find the right characteristics of this six? Now, Endo's coming in, and I don't think he's going to be a prominent six. He's not going to be. That's it. He will be trying to be progressive when he can. He is a little bit offensive, but he will be told, dominantly, you've got to be in that sixth position. Is that why the characteristics of that six is so important? That's why we wanted a Caicedo, why we wanted a Lavia, because we want them to be disciplined and to stick to that position because of the offensive players that we have up top.
Yeah, 100%. Avi, when we used to play the conventional 4-3-3, our left-sided, midfielder, excuse me, just like, Thiago was, he used to play in a double pivot, and he used to receive when teams were pressing us high. He used to just drop into that. And you see Declan Rice doing it. This is a plan for Declan Rice at the moment from Arteta, where he goes and allows Timber, if you saw that game, allow Timber to invert, and then Declan Rice used to receive the ball from the left side, the centre-back, so he faces play a bit more. They're going to try to sort of, take Declan Rice further forward in his development and start receiving the ball in back to goal positions and really ahead in those number 10 positions, like we see, Kevin De Bruyne and Gundogan. Maybe that's the long-term plan for them. But when we used to do that, it used to give us time and used to give us a lot of connections, because this is what it is about, not committing too many people in the build-up. And you see the solidity that Manchester City do it. Manchester City started doing it in a 3 build-up where they'd let the left-back invert, and then the 3 centre-backs used to split, and they used to have the 2 sit in front of them, and they used to have a 3-2 build-up. You saw Arteta go man-to-man with Manchester City. And so what Guardiola did on that, I think, the home tie with him, he went with a 4-2 build-up, and even with Edison joining in that, just to give him a bit more control. And this is what me and Vicky were talking about in the tactical show, that we want Liverpool, when they're getting pressed high, maybe Trent to stay at right-back position to give him the control, because he can pick a pass out anywhere. And I know it's this all about, sometimes it's a 3-2 build-up, sometimes it's a 4-2 build-up. So Trent, I think we just don't sort of just put him into midfield and say, go play in that double pivot. We have to be flexible. We have to be unpredictable, because as we know at the highest level, teams work you out on a weekly basis. And if you don't keep giving them, those different rotations on a different, weekly basis, and even during games, and then at the highest level, the elite teams just work you out, Avi. So in terms of that double pivot play, we need someone disciplined on the ball, but we just need someone to just sit there and win the loose balls, because when the likes of McAllister, the likes of Trent are playing alongside them, alongside the 4-2-2 10s and the 3 up top, we have got the creativity to, break anyone. And we just need to make sure we let our quality go through. If it makes us a bit boring, then so be it. I don't care, because we've got enough quality over 90 minutes to win a game.
Creativity indeed, and hence we're going to go into the predictions for tomorrow. Gene, give me your predictions, give me your scorers, Asim take notes, and we'll do a little table chart week in, week out. We missed last week's, but we'll start as of today. So it'll be a 37-game season for us, unfortunately for Liverpool.
Season, because the first 10 games, not one of us predicted one score correct, and not one of us got the goal scorers correct. And another thing, you refused. Remember, Asim, you refused to. Was it once you refused to give a rating for a player as well, because it was a Jordan Henderson that time. So what's the point of doing this? You're gonna in 2 weeks' time say, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that.
That was last season. Mafi Mangto. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm going for the 3-0 win tomorrow.
3-0 win, and your goal scorers, Gene. Asim, write this down.
3-0. But
I'm
I
going
think the
for-
winner should get something at the end, or the loser, or the loser donates to charity or something like that.
Yeah,
Loser at the end. As long as we keep a track and you give us an update on the table every sort of Saturday or Thursday when we do a pre-match preview. Loser will do a forfeit and we'll donate something to the charity of his choice. The winner, whatever, and Laddu, whatever, we'll give a box of Ambala or something to the winner. That's fine. We'll think of something for the winner.
Gene, 3-0.
3-0, Salah 2, and Darwin to get one off the bench.
So there's gonna be two tables, one for the result, one for the score. So one table for the scoreline and the obviously prediction, and then the goal scorer as well.
And get the comments, man. I want the comments to give their predictions as well.
Comments as well, guys. Jimmy, Hassie, Luke, USA, Maka, Soccer God. Give us your predictions. Not that I'm gonna take note of them anyway. Asim, I'm going with the 2-0.
Ooh, 2-0. Scorers?
Tallah from Sabosalai. He'll hit a Tallah tomorrow. And I'm going to go with Luis Diaz to score as well tomorrow. 2-2 for my Colombian.
Luis Diaz.
Bola chine bol.
Sobo.
Anything, man.
I will go for...
Listen, it's not your turn. Give young Sarib. You go last. You came in last. You go last.
No.
Have some manners about you. Sarib, go.
No. Asim.
Look at the respect he has. No, Sarib, Abi's right. You go first.
No, I insist.
Oh, for fuck's sake. One of you could please hurry up before I fucking end this stream straight away.
What if I say the same as Gene? Do I have to say something different?
You can be the same. Yeah. No, you can go like for like, because you're not going to go like for like every weekend, will you?
You can't go like for like. You can't go like for like, man. It's got to be different. There's no point picking the same score.
Yeah, but that's not fair. Why should Sarib go last?
You can go first.
All right, that's fair enough. I go for the 4-0 then. 4-0.
Sure.
Salah 2. Gakpo. And Diaz.
Wow, 4-0. Go on. Sarib.
Keep on going. You don't say 9-0. You say 9-0.
I'm more concerned as the fact that you guys do think Liverpool will concede. Oh, we're going to concede a goal. Let's be clear about that. We're going to concede at home. We know that. We are.
Who the fuck was that? Because that wasn't an impression of anyone.
I don't know, mate. I'm chuffed at the moment.
That was a bad version of Sean Dyche.
No, you need to have the proper.
All right, guys, innit? I'm not excited about this result, but yeah. That's not bad. That's not bad. Sabr karo. Asim, please. Asim, please.
Sabr karo.
Sarib, go on, give us your prediction.
Muzi dabba.
What do you
Muzi goes
No, don't bring those names on this channel, mate. You can do that on other channels, not here.
No, he's one of our lads, man.
I'm going 4-1 Liverpool. Salah from Soboslai.
No, you can't say it. You can't copy.
No, he can go with no. He said 4-1. No. Asim, he can go 4-1. He can write. Listen,
you have to say tap in from Soboslai, not Tallah from Soboslai.
If he goes and scores a rocket, then what am I going to do? Then I'm going to say.
Then Abi's right.
No. Asim, we can't be too stringent on goal scorers. He can't exactly say Trent Alexander or Konate is going to score tomorrow. Alisson, is he? Come on, man. You know. With the goal scorers, you've got to be fair. Come on. Okay, you're saying a screamer from Soboslai. You said Salah 1, and who's the other two scorers?
No, I don't think it'll be a screamer. I think Soboslai will get a goal. I think Salah will get a goal. I think Trent will get a goal. And I think Cody Gakpo is going to get a goal, mate.
That's good accent.
That's actually quite good, you know.
Listen. Sorry, I wasn't listening. What was your prediction?
So 4-1.
4-1.
I think we score Mo Salah, Alexander Arnold, Soboslai, and Gakpo. There we go, mate. You heard it here first, mate.
He's definitely, ladies and gentlemen, he's definitely a firecracker. Sarib. All right, listen, 415 of you guys. I know you guys didn't want to talk about the boring Bournemouth game and whatnot. And, we've welcomed Endo 3 days on the trot now. Let's go with transfer news. The most exciting transfer news. The ITKs. We
Oh,
should call it.
we have our own
I think I should
Gina-
take over now and should ask you
Gina-
the questions.
Gina, we should do ITK daily. The ITK dailies. What have they been saying, and what have we been saying?
Abi, we've got an in-house ITK in the building now. He's trying to take your role. As well as today.
No, wait a minute. Wait, just to be clear, I saw the comments earlier. Anyone that thinks I know any news about Czech Decore going to Liverpool, that was my opinion. I don't know nothing. Just
So when
like
you put
just
somebody
know-
a flag on the
I
eyes
know-
next to it, what are you expecting?
Sarib, you're going to learn this game very, very quickly. It's a very harsh lesson. When you when you put a winky emoji and you put that flag of Mali,
Sarib,
you know, people will
Sarib.
jump on you.
Sarib,
No,
you spent a week with Avi on a WhatsApp group, and you started tweeting like him.
No, wait.
A
Let
week.
me land. No,
A week.
let me land. Let me land. Check the core. Yesterday we spoke about Check the core. We spoke about it, and we asked you whether he's going to go to Liverpool. I said no, but then Avi said no, so then I said yes. So me waking up in the morning, I was in a good mood because I knew the Endō dopamine rush got me. So I was thinking, rah, one signing's done, another one's going to come in. So I just thought, you know what? Be calm. Endo's here. More will come. That's my opinion. I don't know nothing. I'm not Fabrizio Romano. I'm not David Ornstein. And I'm not the blue chip. I'm not a transfer expert. That's my opinion.
Expert. Do you know? Expert.
I was just gonna give.
Expert bolta hai, expert bolta hai.
Forgive me, God.
He's the biggest spoof for going, man.
Sarib, I was just gonna give him a name for his show. Call it Daily Lies.
Avi, on a serious note, do you lie?
Can I go now? Can I
What's
go?
the game, man? What's the
Avi,
game?
can I
about?
go?
How does this ITK business work? I'm actually quite intrigued. I want to know Avi's thoughts now.
Avi, can I go?
You leave that to Josh. Leave that to Josh.
Listen, the ITK game, right?
I
Look,
think I will say it right.
I don't want to say it right. I don't want to say. Listen,
Avi's on the ropes. Avi's on the ropes.
no. Look. The ITK game is in a nutshell. The ITK game in a nutshell is you get snippets of information. Boys, you two know. All jokes aside, Asim, Gene, anything that I hear, I'll relay it back to you two, right? In a private conversation, private WhatsApp. Okay, I'll tweet it out. But the ITKs out there, you know, will name every player under the sun. We've had inquiry, we've talked to him. And listen, if one hits, you know, you go back to that tweet. This is how it works. I'm just telling you guys how the dynamics work. You go back to that tweet, you retweet it and say, I wasn't wrong. And some others will delete the player names they've mentioned before. That's how the ITK game works. And listen, those who have got followers from that, me included, who have chanced it, you get your followers. Those that, you know, do it. Look, I didn't know about Gravenberch. I don't know about Sheikh Decore. I don't know about Yusuf Fofana. I don't know about Hincapi. Yeah, I don't know about Andrade. There's 5 players there that I haven't had any information about. The Luis Diaz, when it was hitting, I knew of 2021 in the Copa America that we were interested in. That banged in January. That comes true.
Right.
The takeover talks, you know, that I knew that the club was up for sale. Yes. But I did say a sale should be done before the end of the year. It wasn't done. You know, Gakpo in January. I knew days before that we would get Gakpo. You know, so it's hit and miss. A lot of hit and miss, and a lot more misses than hits. And listen, I'm just here to tell you guys how it works. I'm here admitting to you lot. Sometimes you got to chance it like a clown. You got to play the clown. You got to play to your crowd. Nothing else. Guys, 1 minute. I've got a call. Asim, I've got a call. It actually is an agent. It actually is an agent.
I told you, we're getting the call.
Do you want to take it now, or he's gonna mute? He's gonna mute. Let's go to the transfer market, Gene. Ryan Gravenberch.
Avi, you're not on mute.
You're not on mute, Avi.
So I was. No, this say.
Now you're mute. Now you're a mute. You're a mute. You're a mute.
He does the opposite.
Moving on. Pierre Hincapi has been talk of the town today. Plays in a 3 at Leverkusen. Very highly rated. Comes from the same club as Caicedo, Independiente del Valle. Is 21 years old. They must have some kind of factory out there in Ecuador because they're churning out the talent. I don't think it's a goer. But your thoughts, Asim, on the links? Strong defender, passionate, aggressive, plays on that left side.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on Hincapi, and they'll want big money by Leverkusen and the agent as well. That's supposedly the same agent as Moises
Yeah.
Caicedo.
Look, we mentioned it last night, Avi, that if his agent is the same as, is it the Manuel Sierra agency, then I would not touch them. He played us. I genuinely believe that Liverpool were given false pretenses regarding the Brighton deal, and we fell for it. We thought we got the assurances from the player. We got some, signs from the player that if you do go in for the player, that you'll get him through the door. And this is why we really wanted to complete it in 24 hours. But there was a bigger picture. There was a bigger game playing on in the background. And Liverpool were in a position where they were waiting for a player. They didn't. Fans were saying, "Take this deal out off the table," but we had no choice. But coming to the Incapi deal, look, he's a good player, very highly rated, like you said, left footer. He can play in a 4, he can play in a 3, and we need that sort of stability. And there's also another player that we've been linked with is Arthur Theate, and he's a similar type of player, aggressive.
Rene, I believe that Rene, right?
Rene,
Another factory full of talent too.
exactly. And the good sign is, Avi, that we keep getting linked to these sort of players, which tells me Liverpool are looking in the left-sided centre-back role, because I've all summer I've been saying to you that Shimikas and Robo in a normal 4-3-3, they're fine. In this system, we need something different. One for the bus, if you like, at Anfield, and one for those days, just like last week, where we need someone a bit more conservative. If we've got that variety, if we've got that flexibility, it can only mean a good thing for Liverpool. And yeah, let's hope. And it all just depends on if we bring in Ryan Gravenberch, it doesn't take a non-homegrown slot, then where does that? Because I think Liverpool bring in 2 more players. So it depends where we go. Do we go in for 2 midfielders, a DM and Gravenberch, or do we go for Gravenberch and a left-sided centre-back? Like Klopp said, there's probably no more outgoings, so it'll be interesting to see which way Liverpool go.
Avi, do you actually rate him? Genuine question.
Hincapi?
Yeah.
I think
I don't. From what I've seen, I'll be honest with you.
I think he needs 1 more year. I think he's been a bit unfair to me by Leverkusen because they had changed midway through the season with Javi Alonso coming. I think he needs another season in German football. He's 21. I mean, Jarell Quansah is 20, and I know in terms of the development and stuff, Hincapi is the more experienced one, but I would give him another year. I would give him another year because he's not coming into this Liverpool team straight away. He's not going to come. It'll take him 2-3 months. I'd rather him learn his schooling 1 more year in Germany and then reassess it. I think Theate, I like him. I think he's a good player for Rene. And Rene have a history of churning out talents. The Duhi brothers, Amin Guri is there. They've got a lot of talent. They've got a Salah as well. I don't know what his first name is, but they've got a Salah as well on their books. Moroccan winger, very good. So I'd rather get a Theate if we're going to look at a centre back now. But Hincapi, I think he can only play in a 3. I don't think he can play in a 2.
It's perfect then. Perfect. It's perfect.
I completely agree with everything you've just said, and I'm definitely on that. I would rather go for Theate over Hincapi every day.
George, can you make the call then? If you agree with Avi, just make the call.
Avi will make the call, innit?
The ITK will get the ball rolling. Sarib, as I mentioned, Gravenberch. I'm sure he wasn't on the top list of ours this summer.
Of course he was, and he was always on the list. Can't say top list.
I'm taking credit for that.
I don't think Gravenberch has always been one of the number 1 players on Liverpool's list, because Jurgen Klopp loves Gravenberch. We just never thought we were able to get him because Bayern Munich are not willing to sell the player. That's the truth. Don't come out with he wasn't on the list. Of course he was.
I find that very tough to believe. I don't know how. Even at Ajax, yes, there was this big.
Ajax before he went to Bayern Munich, right?
Even at Ajax, there was this a bit of hype about Ryan Gravenberch. I've never seen one game where I've been impressed by him. You can give me all the graphics, statistics, data. You can show me clips of YouTube. I've never seen a full 90 minutes of him at Ajax or him at Bayern Munich. I mean, I know Bayern Munich's few far between, but look, he's played under Nagelsmann.
Avi,
Ten Hag.
Bayern Munich don't buy you
Tuchel.
if you've not had one good 90 minutes. Come on, that's harsh.
Asim, I watched him against Man United, Ajax versus Man United. I think it was that Europa League final going back a few years, and I thought he was brilliant in that game. And that was the year I even said to the United fans then, you know what? Because they needed a holding midfielder at that time. I said, you know what, you guys should, because he played slightly deep in that game. And I thought, you know what, if you need a midfielder, go and buy Gravenberch. I don't think Muzi's on the chat as well. It was him that I was telling, go and buy Gravenberch.
But do you think he's a double pivot player where, look, he's only 20. He's 20, isn't he? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
21, yeah.
Avi, do you think he's like in this system where you need to be adaptable and so versatile in receiving the ball back to goal? In this system, he can't play as a lone six because he's not disciplined enough, and he's probably not mobile enough in terms of back to goal, receiving it when he's got back to goal. He's back to goal. So do you think he's neither here or there in this system, where he's probably more suited to the previous one, where he could probably sit alongside Fabinho and then progress the ball because he's got someone like Harvey Elliott or Henderson on the other side to mop up for him as well and protect him? But in this system, it's neither here or there at the moment where he is as a player.
Yeah, and I think he's still finding himself. Look, it's hard when you go to Bayern Munich at the age of 18 and all of a sudden, you've got these expectations to succeed straight away. And Bayern Munich have done this before where they've brought young talents in and it hasn't sadly worked out for them. Ryan Gravenberch, I think you put it perfectly. He's neither there or here. I think Klopp could potentially turn him into like a Gini Wijnaldum, like a workman horse, like getting the ball, good in possession, retain it, recycle the ball. I think he can do that. Gene says he saw him for Ajax against United. I've seen him sort of excel as an 8, Asim. But again, not over the course of a 90-minute game. Drifts in and out too much. Someone just mentioned it in the comments, and I think it's brilliant. I've never seen that intensity in him. He seems unintense, like he hasn't got that sort of, when I look at his body language, very like Torres, like, you remember Fernando Torres? Body language wise, you'd think he's just
Avi, Paul Pogba, neither here or there.
Yeah, but Pogba had, we've seen Pogba do it. Pogba's done it in the World Cup final. Pogba had talent.
In terms of the profile, I mean, where he's not disciplined.
Similar, very similar. I think that's very similar. Very similar. Like that lackadaisical style. That's what I feel with Gravenberch. And maybe it takes a manager like Klopp to unearth that. Maybe it is to like just discipline him, and with under Pep Linders, who's Dutch as well, Van Dijk, Cody Gakpo, the settings are there for him. And when I say the settings are there for him, I said the same thing about Arthur last summer.
Avi, for 20, 30 million, you wouldn't take him.
For how much?
Because what the fees what we've been going on.
For 25 million, we're taking a punt. Do we want to? Okay, Gina, let me ask you the question. Do you want to take a punt on a 6 hybrid 8 or whatever you want, neither there or here, or do you want to get a ready-made 6? Do you want to spend that extra bit of money, 60, 70, knowing that you've got a Decore who's ready-made? Because Gravenberch is still a project. Gravenberch is still a project at this stage. He's not ready-made to play that 6.
Okay, look, Avi, we need players on that. If we look, just say we buy a center. Look, we know there's 111 million sat there for us to go and spend. Okay, we spent 15, 16 million already. There's approximately 90 to 190 million, 95 million already sat there. Go and spend it. I don't want us to just go, okay, just say we buy Czech Decore for 60 million. There's still money sat there, go and spend it. And if you links with Hincapi and stuff, yes, I want a centre back. Of course I want a centre back. I'm not going to sit and say I don't. But if we want to go, if Klopp wants Ryan Gravenberch and he's wanted him for a long time, there is a reason why Klopp wants him. He obviously there's a talented footballer in there. Yes, I know there's issues with his attitude, and sometimes, like you mentioned, he might go missing in a few games. But there is a lot of potential for this kid to go to the next sort of level. And at 20, 30 million, if we don't get him now, you're going to be sat here in a year's time. If he does get a move elsewhere, and let's say he does well, you're going to sat here licking your wounds again, saying, "Oh, why didn't we get him?" This is the issue that we have. We're always sat here.
I don't get that about Gravenberch. I don't think a year down the line we'll be like saying, "Why don't we get him?" I don't, Gina. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. Asim, someone's mentioned a great name there as well, like a comparison. Tanguy Dombele. If you want to put the comments up, guys, I can't control the comments because my Wi-Fi is playing up. Dombele, who had the world at his feet, very talented at Lyon, went to Spurs and just didn't do it. Gravenberch, Gina, I have no doubts that if he came to Liverpool, we'll probably turn him into a great player. I can't see it right now. I see that what we've done with Fabio Carvalho, Ramsey's gone out on loan. Darwin Nunes still question marks over his talent. I just question what we're doing with these younger signings. We've got to see one like really like come up and do it. And I'm not saying time is lost on the Ramses or Carvalhos or Nunes. I've said it. We've all said in the show we expect him to like score goals this season. We expect him to have such a better season. But with Gravenberch, I'd rather hold fire. I've got to see him more and more. And if we do sign him, yeah, look, if we sign him, Gene, I'll get behind it. Like we got back behind Endo, any signing that walks through those doors. But for now, I'd rather get a Decore in. I want someone that we can spend money on and get him in now.
What Gene is saying is we could get both.
Yeah, but where are you going to?
That would mean compromising the left-sided centre back. Then Gene.
And another thing what you have to understand is Thiago is going to go next year. We always talk about when we don't plan enough, we don't do this enough. For once, go and get more than what you need, because Thiago's going to go next season. Hopefully, Bajicic will by then have another year. He'll be sort of ready in that sixth sort of position as well. And this season is a massive season for Harvey Elliott. I want to see a lot more from Harvey, and yeah, he was fantastic when he came on against Chelsea. I want to see him progress to the next sort of level, because if he doesn't progress this season, what do we do with him?
I'd rather see a Decore come in, and then assess where we are in January if we pull the trigger on Andre. Because I don't want to stifle the growth of Bajicic either. We're sleeping on him time and time again. We haven't mentioned him enough on this show or this channel. This guy, he will have everything.
You want Decore, and do you still believe we will get an Andre?
Yeah, I think
after we signed Endō.
Yeah, look, Endo's going to be 31, and Endo's not expected to play 38 games, 40, 50 games, start every league game. He's got to get used to that. He's got to be a squad rotational player. No,
buying 3 6s with a Bajicic.
No. But that's what I mean. But I don't think Gravenberch is a 6. I don't think Gravenberch is a 6. Decore can play the 6.
But I'm not talking about Gravenberch. I said to you, you've signed Endō. You want Decore, and then you want Andre.
But Decore was not a 6 at Lens. He was not a 6 at Lens. He wasn't a 6 at Lens. He was an 8. He was an 8. He's been made to play a 6 at Palace, and he's playing it very, very well. That's what I mean. For me, Gravenberch, he's not on my top. He's not top of my list.
Which Decore won't be an 8 for us in this system. Decore won't be an 8 for us in this system.
No chance, man.
He'll be a 6. But at the end of the day, we still need 6-7 midfielders. I think Bajicic is very versatile, and my thoughts about Bajicic, boys. Not centre back, but he can play. I know he can play the 8. So
I think it's priorities, isn't it? And depends on how Klopp sees it. It depends if you're going to go with Gene is saying you buy Gravenberch and Decore. If you do that, you can't buy a left-sided centre back this summer, Gene. Avi is saying you buy Decore, and then you go for someone like Thiate. Which one would you choose?
You didn't say that. You said go buy Andre in January, man.
No, I said assess the situation in January, and if Andre becomes available, if Andre is talk of the town, like people suggest that he is,
why would we buy another 6? Answer my. Are we gonna have 4 6s?
Endo's not a set 6 though. Klopp said it today in his interview. He gives us many options around the pitch, around the midfield area. Klopp said it today. He's not going to be. He's going to have to do the job of a 6 at the moment. He's going to have to do the job as a 6 at the moment, but he's not a 6. He's not going to be a set 6.
Anyway, you know what? Where's he going to play then? A center. His only other option where he's going to play is a centre back position. Avi, he's not going to play 8, is he? Andre's not an 8.
He's not going to play 8, but Gene, he's not going to play. He's not going to play every game either for us, Gene. If we get Decore starts ahead of him. And he can come on then, second half, with 20 minutes to go, 15 to go. He can come in and cover for Trent if he has to. Play at right back. Relieve the centre-backs if he have to. He gives us...
I don't know. I'm not...
He could invert from left-back.
Who?
Endō. You're on mute, Avi.
Oh, yeah, Avi will believe that. Avi think he might play a left-back or left winger as well next week.
Avi? No, we can't hear you, Avi. We can't hear you. You're not on mute either. Maybe just go out of the stream and come back. You're on mute now. Sorry about this guys. Technical problems at midnight on BNR. Sarib, you've been quiet for the last 5 minutes, gathering your thoughts. Where do you sit in this debate?
I genuinely think the attraction to Gravenberch is the fact that we only have one homegrown spot left, and he won't take up that, which is why I think Liverpool get that deal done. I think we spoke about a couple shows ago about the 3 midfielders that we think Liverpool will sign. I did say Gravenberch and those links were dead because I always knew the links when Liverpool are in for a player, they always tend to resurface if someone hasn't come in, and that's the logic I went with. And I said it'd be a loan deal, and that I probably did get wrong. But I think the attraction to him is that he's 21. He's not going to take a homegrown spot, so we can make that signing without worrying that we can make another one. So I think that's why I think we potentially, if Bayern Munich want to sell, we will make that signing, and then the check the core. I think that's what we will get. Those two, that's what we'll get. Generally, like if I'm being completely serious, I think that's the two we'll get. I don't think we'll get a centre back this summer. I think that's kind of pushed to one side now due to the midfield concerns.
Avi, shall we try again?
Can you hear me, guys? Hello.
That's better.
Yes, we can hear you guys. Yes.
Can you see me, guys? Is my screen black? What's
We
going
can
on?
see you. We can hear you. What were you
We
saying?
can see you.
No, I just said that Gravenberch is not on top of my list. I'm sorry, Gravenberch is not on my list of players that I want. 25 million.
not?
Which is fair enough. Which is fair enough.
Sorry, but at this stage, we've got to pull the trigger on Decore. We've got to.
I think we will. I think we will.
Decore has got to be. Decore has got to be the priority. I don't want. I don't want a project player. I don't want a project player. Last 3-4 players that we've got in, it hasn't worked. Carvalho, Ramsey's gone out on loan. You know, we've had who else? Nunes is still a project. You know, Gravenberch is a project.
Yeah.
No,
I
but
think.
Look.
I think when we go for it, Sarib.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
No, you talk about project players. I think I was happy with having a project player when someone like Fabinho was here, an established DM. Yes, he was falling off a cliff and he was rubbish, just like everybody else last season, but improved when we changed the system. But then I was willing to take someone like a Thuram or even a Kone. I know Kone was a bit more natural than Thuram, but I was willing to take even a Gravenberch and say mold them into a Gini Wijnaldum type of player, like Avi said. Or even a lone 6. But the moment I think we let go of Fabinho, I think the whole plan, changed and it went out the window. Yes, now we bought in contingency. I believe, the manager can say he was always on our wish list. Maybe so in terms of a list where we knew about this player, but we've got bigger priorities and we only come back to him when those don't work out. And that's how it played out in public, to be honest with you. But I think once we has lost Fabinho, I think we need to make sure someone like Decore or Caicedo or a Lavia needed to come in. Gravenberch is a brilliant player and a brilliant project to work with because he's got a high ceiling and I believe he can turn into a world-class player. He's only 20 and you don't come and Bayern Munich don't buy you if you've got nothing about you. You're obviously a very talented player and you've got all the attributes to take it to the next level. So only 20 years old, working under Pep, working under Jurgen Klopp, the sky's the limit for him. But I think I'm with Avi at the moment where we've got, bigger fish to fry, where we need that DM to come in. He's brilliant. Endo's going to be a good player. He's going to be a versatile utility player for us who will do several roles. But there is still that big, massive gaping hole in the center of midfield that needs to be filled in the next 10 days or so.
Yeah. And look, there's no doubt. Look, Gene is supportive of the Gravenberch.
I want Decore is number 1. I don't want anyone to think I don't. I want Decore.
Look how he changes his tune. Let's back us. Let's talk. Yeah, exactly. That's
the googly.
Safeguarding yourself. That's called safeguarding yourself. But don't safeguard. You don't safeguard on this channel. You don't safeguard on this channel. Either go the full way. Don't safeguard yourself. Don't safeguard yourself. Okay.
You think I said don't sign Decore and sign Gravenberch?
You said Gravenberch was your top target player on the WhatsApp conversation today. Asim, Tige?
Yeah,
you lying.
He's right.
Lying boy.
You typed it.
डर क्यों है? क्यों है डर? डरना मत चीने, डरना मत.
This dude is an ITK. Well, you want to be ITK. Lying bastards. That's what you are.
Anyway, guys, listen. Aaron,
Joe just flipped.
That's it. I'm getting my wallet out now, man.
You go back to Ibiza. You go back to Ibiza. Nangeo, mate. Listen, anyway, it's been a great show, guys. Have we covered everything? Asim, any other player that you want to mention quickly?
No. No, I think
No?
we've covered everything. When you're hosting, you cover every base, Avi.
Oh, quite the compliment today.
It's
Quite the
always
compliment.
good.
You know what?
It's always good.
It's weird because we've been going at each other on the voice notes and whatnot, but today it seems very calm. Sarib, any last thoughts for you? Any player that you want to talk about quickly before we and wrap up?
No, I think we covered everything to a T. To be honest with you, I haven't got my tea today, but I think we covered everything to a cup of
George, can you say sorry to Farhan, please?
Go on,
Farhan?
go on,
What
George.
happened? Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. Sorry, I apologize for that. I didn't mean it. Normally, I never. It's Avi, man. Blame Avi. He gets brings the bad out of everybody. Ask Sarib, man. Even Sarib was mentioning it before the show. He was blaming Avi as well.
Gene, just out of curiosity, if it's Florentino Luis for 35, if it's Florentino Luis for 40 million or Gravenberch for 25, what are you doing?
Look, right. If it was them two players right now, we need a six, man. We need Florentino Luis, of course. It'd be stupid for me to. This is why I don't understand why you lot said I said of him over Decore. That was not what I said. I want Gravenberch with Decore. That's what you were saying. You need two players and you'll spend it and then not sign a centre back. That's what I was saying. I didn't say go sign Gravenberch to play the sixth role over Decore. I'd be really stupid to say that, man. Thank you.
No, it is. Yeah, it is stupid to say that, but then
Avi,
again,
can I ask you a question just before we go? You mentioned
just-
Florentino Luis. Florentino Luis, his two loan spells didn't really work out. A bit of concern for you?
Yeah, he's 23, 24, only one cap for Portugal. There are that concerns, but he gets around the pitch though, Asim. He had a good season last season, and people saying that he's not getting selected for Benfica. Let the real season start. He'll be Benfica's mainstay in that defensive midfield position if he doesn't get his move. But there's talks tonight that Nottingham Forest are asking the question and whatnot. So let's see what happens. But guys, there were 400 of you guys at midnight with us. Midnight mass or midnight mess. However you guys want to put it, but it's been an absolutely great show on a normal Friday, random, no warning, very impromptu, but we got there in the end. I want to thank my co-hosts, Sarib and Jean, and the late one today, the late but the great one, Asim, who will be back to his usual hosting skills on Sunday, but we will be picking some questions for him as he likes to talk about the tactical side of the game. But guys, anyone going to the game, I know Jean and Asim are. Have a safe journey. Be blessed. Hopefully bring back 3 points. And who knows, may just do a impromptu show tomorrow night late on. Who knows? But over and out, guys. This has been Born and Red. Make sure you like and subscribe. God bless. Safe travels. See you tomorrow.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.